can be confusing because there's different types of annuities. But at their core, when you're looking at them for retirement income, you're purchasing them to protect your money and for them to give you a guaranteed amount of income. And what that means, people always ask, like, what does that mean, guaranteed income? That's how much they're going to provide. Yes, but what happens is when they are spending down that annuity, you're spending through principal and interest. When all of that runs out, that's where the guarantee kicks in. That's where you and your spouse, if you elected, are going to get that check for as long as either one of you lives, even once you run out of money. So that's why it's so important for people to realize they're vehicles that for people who need a certain amount of income and need to count on that. So if you ever hear any press about annuities, whether they're good or bad, they just serve a function. They're just for people who want to be able to protect their cash flow. And if you look at it, this is always interesting too, like look at her scenario, right? So with that additional annuity she purchased, she did an additional purchase of an income annuity of $80,000. In 10 years, that $80,000 is guaranteed to provide her $900 a month. So look at that. That's almost a 12% payment for life based on what she put in originally, right? So if you had $80,000 and you said to somebody, hey, this $80,000 will generate you $900 a month, guaranteed for the rest of your life, you just have to wait 10 years, they'd be like, oh my gosh, I couldn't probably invest money on my own to get it to equal what that could do in that amount of time.
And even if you did and got more money, you still would not be able to withdraw the percentage amount of 12%.
Right. Not guaranteed.
Guaranteed, right. Not guaranteed. Right. You will run out of money.
You could, but you know what Dr. Wade Pfau just taught us? So Dave Ramsey, and I'm not trying to bash Dave Ramsey, but he just did a video where he was like, oh, if you're making 12% on your money, you can take out 10 and never run out. And everybody who, looks at retirement like me got sick to their stomach. Wade Pfau actually crunched the numbers on that. You'll run out of money for the average life expectancy 2/3 of the time. So think about that. People are like, oh, my portfolio makes 12 a year, so I can take 10 and never run out. That stands to reason, right? If you're making 12, you could take 10. You wouldn't even touch the principal, right? Why would that not make sense? Well, because you don't earn 12 every year. Some years you lose money. And the year you take 10% out there will cause you to now never recover, never get those gains back and run out of money 2/3 of the time. So taking 10%, you can do it. You're just going to run out of money, 65-66% of the time.
Yeah. And that's the detriment of the 7 baby steps. If you follow the 7 baby steps all the way through, and you successfully pay off all your debt and you successfully invest 15% of your income in mutual funds and you grow to $1 million+ portfolio and you retire healthy, free, all that whatnot, cash flow positive, and you make one decision. You make one decision to do an annual or a total withdrawal of 8 to 10% of your income of what your portfolio has amounted to, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million. It doesn't matter what the number is. If you withdraw that 8 to 10% comparable to what you are averaging in terms of rate of return, 66+% of the time, you run out of money before you pass away. And so
and
what
here's
about being able to leave money behind? So now we've limited how much money we leave behind, and we also run out of cash. That it's like you did everything right, though. That's what's insane. And one decision killed it.
Yeah, exactly. That's so well said. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yes, that's what's so scary about that video that Dave Ramsey made was, yes, you did everything right your whole life. You make one decision, and you can't fix that. I mean, that's, you mess that up a couple years in a row. Like, think about somebody doing that this year. They're probably terrified right now, right? With all the volatility going on. So, I think what happens is people don't actually talk to enough 70 and 80-year-old and 90-year-old people. I'm blessed to talk to 20 to 25, sometimes, if you count the phone, maybe as many as 300 a week. And so, a lot of these people that I serve who are retired in their 80s, they were some of the most engaged, active, creative entrepreneurs of their time, right? So everybody always keeps themselves in their current mindset, and they're like, oh, well, I'm very entrepreneurial and I'm a great investor and I would never buy an annuity because I can outperform one. And right, you have this mentality now. But when you're in your 80s, you just don't have the same priorities you have now. They change. Time is different. Life is different. You're thinking about different things. You probably don't want to crunch the numbers anymore. You probably just want the numbers to provide a check so you can go out and enjoy the time you have. That's the moral of the story. And so a lot of people are like, oh, well, I could outperform my annuity. It's like, okay, well, then, yeah, if that's what makes you feel you're making the most of your retirement, then do that. But the average person is not going to want to try to do that. They're not going to want to stress, because here's the crazy part about that 2/3 example, Denzel. It's not just that 2/3 of the time you run out of money. It's the whole journey is ruined. Like, you're going to run out of money.
Yeah.
And at a certain
You're
point,
worrying about it.
there's just the stress is destroying your life until then. I'm working with 2 people right now that are currently running out of money. There's nothing I can do. They came to me like that. I meet with them regularly, and I've talked to them through some creative solutions. But there's nothing they can do. I mean, look, when you get to, if you're 79 years old and you have $40,000 and you're running $1,000 a month deficit, you can kind of figure it out. There might be a couple of things that could delay it a little while longer, but you're going to run out. And that's what's a terrifying prospect for people they don't want to deal with. So it's actually beneficial to them. It's worth it. That's why they're saying you live, a much happier and healthier life with lifetime income, because you don't have that stress, you don't have that worry. It's just removed.